All right, what is up, everybody? I'm here with one of the original gangsters, man, Crypto Khaki, aka the Todd Father. This guy's got a ton of deep, intricate knowledge about VV, man, and he's got a ton of collectibles. And just thrilled to have one of these OGs in the house with me.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Like, so to bounce that back towards you and your brother, um, I've been a fan from y'all since y'all first video. The beautiful thing about Vivi is that we're able to find you guys real easy because it's only, a handful of y'all doing it. So if you type Vivi, it pulls everybody up. So, when y'all first started doing it, man, I started to watch your videos because who don't want to sit down and get more in-depth information on their collectibles that they're investing in. The fact that y'all did that was beautiful and right on time, man. Big fans of you guys, man. So on my part, it's a privilege because I'm not a content creator or anything like that. So for you going out on a limb, to me, that's you taking a chance on me that I'm not going to drag your views down. You know what I'm
No way,
saying?
bro. As soon as I heard you in the Discord, I was like, this guy is too freaking cool. And I was like, you were going
Yeah,
on some stuff where I was learning. And I remember we were talking about mint numbers for the common DeLorean. And you were like, I'm
right,
going
right,
after sub 200s. You're like, it's a 1 in 250 chance. And then that's why I was
right,
like,
right,
bro, like, I know that too. And like, not many people were thinking like we were thinking. And then, bro,
right.
your voice, and now you got the style, you could easily be a YouTuber, bro.
Yeah, I know. I don't have the time for it, man. And then, my kids, I don't want to embarrass my kids, man. So, but no, but look, so with the DeLorean, it's funny you said that, man. I was in chat earlier today. We was having some conversations on the DeLoreans with a couple of guys in there. And I ended up just today. So my thing now, it's like a game for me now. If I can get any sub 200 mint of anything
Yo,
at this point outside of Kripkins, and because you can get those all day, but
right.
anything outside of Kripkins and like Myrmicornos, anything sub 200 for under $200 to me is a crazy, crazy steal
Yeah,
if you believe that Vivi is going to turn into what we think it's going to turn into.
right.
And it doesn't matter if it's 100,000 of these minute out. If you get a sub 200, I think that is going to put itself in its own category of people, of collectors who are grabbing those low mints, man. I got two rare DeLoreans for under $180, both
Woo.
of them. So I was like,
Wow.
man, to some
That's
people that
good.
seems like, yeah, but to me that's what I would think too. So
Yeah.
to hear you verify that is awesome, man, for real.
Bro, and that's the same way we're thinking about it too, right? And I put out that video on like low serials, and I wasn't saying that like, getting a rare collectible isn't important, but we were just saying like, man, there's so much good things to have a low serial because it's like you're one of the first to ever receive it. In the future, VV might take more than the first 40. And there's all these things where you could be like, I was, issued on the blockchain earlier, all these different things, and people are just aren't catching on. So I'm like, man, you and I
Yeah.
are seeing that and we're going, you know what? Like, let's take a chance. It's 180 gems. You know what I mean? Like getting a sub 200 common DeLorean or what have you. What
Right.
would that mean in the future, right?
Right, exactly. So, and a lot of that chance taking, I'm all about that because
Yeah.
this is how I look at it. If to me, if because 90% of in the collectibles that I get right now, I'm passing down to my children, right? They
Right.
don't even know, they don't even have a clue. And they're all into gaming and all of this. So, and they're growing up in a digitized world.
It's so true.
Right now, my daughter, right, two years old, bro, just turned two. She can grab the iPad, flip through everything, turn the volume up, connect it to Wi-Fi. She's showing my mother how to operate these things and going through because she's seeing me do it, seeing her bigger brothers do it, seeing
Yeah.
her mother do it, and they're
Wow.
picking up. And she's not reading physical books. She's sitting down because we download these books for them and it reads it to her, but she's swiping on the iPad like this. So mentally, what do you think
Right.
Evie is going to be to kids like that in 10 years,
Woo!
15 years when you see what I'm saying? So
Wow.
I'm looking at all of this and it's an investment on the potential of of everything.
Right.
We had flip phones. Who would have thought five, 10 years ago, we had flip phones. 15 years ago, right? iPhone came out in 2006 or 2007 or something like that.
Right.
And look at what iPhone did to Netflix when Netflix dropped the app. It took Netflix to the moon.
Yeah.
So the technology had to catch up with Netflix, and that's all I'm waiting on to happen with VEVE is for the
Bro.
technology to catch up with it.
Yo, your philosophy on that is so on the money because it's not as if we're not going to be going more into the digital age. Like, it's not as if we're receding or anything like that. Like, everything's turning to there, right? The education system can't keep up. AI is taking over, you know? So, like, you're totally right. Like, by investing into NFTs, which might seem like a crazy idea to a lot of people, anyone who's forward thinking is like, I know this is going to be the future and I'm banking on it. Like these Rizzos and these collectibles you and I both have, like it could be something insanely priceless for our kids, you know? So I love that, bro.
Yeah,
Super smart.
exactly. Yeah, man. Yeah, but they can't touch it right now until
Yeah.
David used
Yeah.
David. Y'all need to lock down the children account. Like, and I think that this is gonna be something in the future too. Like they should have a second VV Kids or
Whoa.
something where it's
Smart.
unmet numbers of collectibles where you just do VV their own personal collectibles and mint as many as you want so that they can interact it because they're going to be the ones that come to us for the $50 to once the gamification is in line to generate those burned ohmies. And I think that's going to be a huge thing. They're going to be the ones spending all the time at VVverse. You know, I'll spend a little time in there, but the kids are going to be the ones that's going to be there all day. And just even with the VVverse and the meta worlds and all of that, like I'm interested to see where your view on where it will be in 5 years, because my view on it is way out there, bro. You know what I'm
Bro,
saying?
yo, I'm with you 100%. What's super interesting to me is that people believe that as we get more, you know, technological as a society, that we're going to be, you know, like going to Mars or going to other planets or being interstellar. And I'm like, I don't think so. Like, I think our world's going to be more digital and creating these kind of like, you know, alternate kind of realities for ourselves, right? And so when I think about somebody like your daughter, I'm like, you said it perfectly. In 10 to 20 years from now, right? She could be totally interacting in this space 8 to 10 hours a day, holograms projected all around her. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, like using different NFTs as like almost interacting with them as people. Like there's so many different ways that this can transpire. But I think a lot of people are thinking it's going to be in the physical realm when the digital one is so much more inexpensive, so much easier to create. It's like, I think we like, and like when we start doing the math and we see like the VVverse, and I'm just thinking like, man, like, you know, we even talking about gaming now, facing each other in cars, like, bro, it's gonna happen, man.
Watch. So this is what, bro. I'm right there with you on that. So think back, right? So I'm gonna tell my age a little bit, just throughout me talking and going back and forth, all right?
Yeah.
But not too long ago, right? When online dating first came out was where all the socially awkward people went and the people that may have had low self-esteem, and that was a small group of them, and you get on and it was just a bunch of weirdos, you know, but only a weirdo to people that were not in their circle, right?
Right.
Now everybody's online dating because of the convenience of it. So online dating is something that has been socially accepted by the mass majority of people that are out there. Facebook, what's any different than meeting someone on Facebook? I have a cousin that met a wife out in California and they talked on Instagram, and he ended up moving her out to South Carolina. They ended up moving where I'm at and happily married.
Wow.
And it was a normal thing. So what do you think will happen now? About 10 years ago, I remember PlayStation had like where you could have like an avatar and you go into this kind of universe, you know, and you have your avatar and you meet and greet with people and you do little things, and it was a a very cultish thing, and people enjoy playing that game. When these metaverses pop off, a lot of people will be spending the majority of their time with these headphones on in
Right.
that alternate world. And the funny thing about it is NFTs in gaming, Call of Duty, when you play Call of Duty and you level your guy up, he's only as good as up until that next Call of Duty come out. And then all that money you spent, all that leveling up and time that you spent is worth nothing because you're not going to carry any of that over to the next game.
Right.
Blockchain, when they start putting in NFTs, those guns that you've leveled up, that character that you leveled up now is an NFT that you can take and sell on the secondary market to somebody.
Right.
And that is going to create an entire ecosystem inside and financial opportunity for people. And there's going to be a lot of money made into that because it's going to be paid out as crypto. And you see more and more crypto is starting to be adopted by a lot of these younger users with the Dogecoin and the AMC. All of these are gateways into crypto, which is this is the new internet wave that's coming on now. And I don't think a lot of people really understand what blockchain is doing and where we're going to be in 5 to 10 years. When you talk about projects like Senso and Theta and Engine and Bpro and all of this, and when all of that stuff comes up and it is a full project and it's up and running and the technology is caught up with all of this stuff, this is just like when AOL started and dial-up internet started. I was there when all of that stuff popped up. So change the world of communication on the blockchain is going to change everything. So it's going to be adopted. It just only makes sense financially for these businesses to start investing in that. Once Cardano is up and running and you have better, more available blockchains out there and more efficient blockchains out there, then these companies are going to start to get into it, and the public will start to get into it, and before you know it, this is going to be this big thing, and a lot of people are going to sit back 5-6 years down the road, and look back at some of the Cavell videos when he was telling you, hey, invest in this, don't diversify, do this, do that, and a lot of other people that dabble in crypto and learn crypto. I didn't know anything about it outside of Bitcoin back in January.
Bro,
But
this is why they called you the Todd Father, bro. I think you just gave people like 6 or 7 massive philosophical things to consider. Like even, bro, even your comparison with online dating, how that was for nerds and that was for people that, didn't know too much about it. And then now it's so mainstream that it's almost overtaken dating. Like you'd rather go on Tinder and meet somebody and this is, like, again, when you talk about implications for the VeVe verse and everything that you're discussing here, like it's just a matter of time. And how, I'm so curious, like how the hell did you find VeVe? Like, were you just into crypto and then you're like, oh, there's Omi? Like, how did that work?
You want the short version or the long version?
This is the long version, my man. I want to know. This
all right, so a year ago, when COVID was just popping off, back in January of 2020, I had a customer. We were real cool, and I'll sit and talk with him, and he was always on his computer dealing with stocks and stuff. So I asked him, like, yo, what's up with the stocks, man? Because I had a cousin back in 2000 and when did I move to Atlanta? In 2010, he came up to me and he asked me, what do you think about Netflix? I was like, oh man, I love Netflix. It's dope. Now, Pete, back then, Netflix, me and my wife was renting Netflix DVDs, and they would send it to us in the mail.
Wow, that's crazy,
bro. So I say, yes, it's cool, man. We get DVDs in the mail once a week, and we watching TV series. I thought it was the coolest thing. You can go on the internet, order a video, and they mail it out to you. This is killed Blockbusters, right?
Wow. Right.
Netflix took Blockbusters out of there, right?
Yeah.
So now, he asked me, well, what do you think about Sirius XM radio? I was like, yeah, that's dope, but I kind of like Netflix. And it was just when streaming was starting to jump off, right?
Wow.
So he says, all right, I'm going with Sirius XM. I was like, all right. And at that time, he was going into, he was all into stocks and all of that, and he won't even tell me how many Bitcoin he got, but he was
Jeez.
all in. He tried to get me in Bitcoin back in 2012.
Woo.
Always just a knucklehead, you know. About a year later, they start streaming on the computer. I went back to him. I say, bro, what did you get, Netflix or Sirius XM? Because Netflix just did something that's groundbreaking. Now they are streaming movies. Only about 50 movies on Netflix at that time that you can
Holy.
go in and watch. So that's like 2008, 2009, right?
Wow.
So iPhone come out. We used to have these nice phones called Pilots. It was Palm Pilots,
I
right?
remember those.
And
Yeah.
they were the best phones out there. And then
Yeah.
iPhone came, Jobs came and changed the game because now you got a pocket computer.
Right.
A couple of years after iPhone came out, you start downloading apps. And what iPhone and downloading apps did for Netflix just took it from $20, $30 a share up to $400 a share right now.
Wow.
So that was technology. Netflix was already positioning itself for the technology, which is what I think VV is doing right now. I sit and I listen to Dan and I listen to David and see how they are moving out here, and they keep dropping these little nuggets, and then they'll reel themselves back. They'll throw Trevor out there to kind of reel us back, like, yeah, you know, and Trevor come out and I love how they do everything. So I'm watching
Yeah.
everything, man. And I think they're just positioning themselves to be in some Ready Player One type of environment 5-6 years down the road, because this isn't something that they got control of. All they got is the vision, and they got the know-how to execute on it, but you can't execute if there's no platform to set your execution on. So they're just waiting on the platform to be built and developed. And then, you know, I don't know if you know much about HoloLenses.
No, no, I
Have you
don't.
heard, have you seen the HoloLenses, right?
No,
All
I
right, so
haven't.
HoloLenses are these virtual kind of glasses, bro. After this video, go check out
Okay, I
HoloLenses.
will. Yeah.
Everybody go check this out, because this, and hey, I almost sent you, I almost tweeted you the video that I had watched earlier in the week on the HoloLens, because this will put into perspective how I see where VV will be in 5 years, which is no time at
Right.
all.
Right.
You know, so, you know, but you put on these glasses, right? Virtual reality glasses. And what it does is it allows you to see and move through it. You got these glasses on, and you'll see like a floating display where your browser's at, and you're able to go and touch it. It digitizes your hands. You hold it out in front of it digitizes so you can move your hands around and you see it moving around. And cool video, bro. And he's touching, and then he has like these 3D objects on tables, and he's able to pick them up and look at them and stuff like this, right? So
Holy man.
I was talking to Johnny Dunn. Shout out Johnny Dunn, bro.
Johnny Dunn, man.
I really rock with this kid, man. Like, I
Yeah.
love his energy and his passion. Y'all,
Yeah.
both of you guys remind me of each other, man. Like, I get the same vibe with you guys, right? So I was talking with him, and I was like, man, so with the HoloLenses, imagine if VV is thinking like how I'm thinking. And a few years down the road, the HoloLenses could very well replace what phones are, because everybody's coming out with their version of it. So
Whoa.
the same way that people, and even Reese spoke about this too, the same way we converted from flip phones, when flip phones were the thing,
Yeah.
to handheld phones. You know, I think that there's still going to be some people that use phones, but I think the younger generation are going to want to use the wearables as their phone, where all they're
Dude.
doing is tapping it to answer the phone. You have your
Yeah.
screen pop up in front of you in augmented reality. You're FaceTiming, you're face to face. You know, it could even be where you're looking at it, and later down the road where the whole avatar pops up and you're having this face to face conversation with
Wow.
the other person on the line. But imagine if VV, right, allows you to scan your room, you know, and
Okay.
it does like a scan of your entire room, and you're able to link up with your collectibles through VV, through the VV app, that's compatible with these hollow lenses, and you can take your collectibles and place them around in your house, in your room. So now, let's say you come over to my house. As soon as you come over to my house, because this is all technology that is probably in the works. If not, they need to get on it. But you come to my house, boom, you automatically connect to
VEVE, right?
my system that I have in my house,
Yeah.
right, to VEVE, and boom, pulls up. You're able to walk through my house and look at all of my collectibles on display. The pictures on the wall, the 2D art, your Riso sitting over there in the corner. You know what I'm saying? And now you have almost like a physical thing in front of you, because your HoloLenses allow you to kind of, interact with it and, pick it up and look at it or whatever. You can put it back down and it goes back, snaps back to its original place. But this is how I'm thinking about it. I'm not thinking about just pulling up on somebody like, hey, check out these collectibles. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to be cool to some people.
You know what I'm going to name this podcast? Is I'm going to call it the Shut Up and Listen to Friggin' Crypto Khaki, bro. Because you know what you're talking about. You know what you're talking about, man. Because I would come over,
dreaming.
right? Yeah. Like, imagine how cool that would be. You're at a friggin' like leaving a friggin' dinner party and you're going swimming or you're barbecuing and you're like, hey man, just turn on, like, sign into VEVE real quick on your HoloLenses. And there's like, check this out. And this is worth $1 million. Here's my whatever collectible, right? It's incredible because, we keep thinking that it has to be tangible, physical. It has to be like, you have to be able to touch it. But like, man, there's so much visual stimulation from these collectibles. Like, I would much rather look at this dragon girl. And you've been hitting up some physical stuff too, right?
Yeah, I have, man. You see a couple of them up there.
Yeah, let's see that, man. Let's see that.
I've been So this is where I'm. Yeah. Just a few, man. Just not too much, man. Like,
still crazy.
Of course, I got this Riso when I
Unreal.
didn't have
Unreal.
A VEVE Riso. So I was like, well, if I can't get one, that's when it was like $4,000 or $5,000. And then this is one of the ones that I really liked, this model of this Harley. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go grab that one.
So nice,
then it was this weird. Well, no. So I got another one that's coming in, and I got this guy here.
Oh, I saw this
one.
This one
is dope, man. Like, the cape is huge.
Yeah.
The cape is huge, man. The one that I'm trying to get right now, of course, I'm trying to get a Todd, but the Todd that I get, man, I need to get a low mint. Like, man, Mac Magnolia is gonna come back and bite a lot of people, because when the collectors come in, that's the only piece of abstract art, physical statue. Right. Magnolia is the creator of Hellboy. He's one of David Yu's favorite artists of all time. Like, this dude is well respected. And at Batman, it looks unorthodox because it's supposed to, because it's abstract. And I've just been buying them. Everything low, sub 500, give it to me. You know what I'm saying? Nice. So, because I know when the crowd comes in and the real collectors come in, that's going to be one of the most sought after pieces. And people was upset when they made it to ultra rare. I did my research. I was excited because, to me, they did that Magnolia Batman a justice by making him an ultra rare. And I think a lot of people are sleeping on it because it was the most popular one with all of the collectibles. For people who don't know art and not collecting, we going by the aesthetic look of it. That's why you got to do research on a lot of these collectibles, see where they came from, see who drew them, and I'll be doing all of that, man. So maybe
I can tell, bro. No, are you kidding me? You're one of the smartest guys on here. That's why, because even I made that mistake with Mike Magnolia. I was like, bro, they should have made the Hulafs the ultra rare, and then everyone's like, nah, man. Like, this guy is legendary. It's like that's one of the most popular collectibles. So, dude, good for you. And like, for anybody watching, I mean, here's some more good news from friggin' the Todd Father. So keep this on your radar.
Grab the Magnolias, man. And he's good and fun to meme too. Yeah. Like, so why wouldn't you own one? You should at least own one.
Yeah.
There's enough of them out there where you can get one, man. You know what I mean?
So, right. What else is sleeping on the app for you, my man? Any big other ones you're...
Because there's a couple of them out there that I'm like, I see some numbers that I like, and
Yeah.
well, all right. So let's see. Let's see. What's another one? Uh, any Joker and Harley Quinn FA. Harley Quinn is
Yeah.
probably, and I talk to a lot of physical collectors. Harley Quinn is the most popular. She probably sells the most out of the merchandise. You know
Wow.
what I mean?
Right.
And Harley Quinn, I think, is going to be a very, very sought after piece. Her FA,
Right.
anything FA at this point, you know, to get
Yeah.
Harley Quinn for under $200 FA right now was just
It's
it's just
insane.
crazy. I've got enough high mints right now. I think I may have like 13, 14 Harley Quinn FAs, maybe about the
Woo!
same amount of Jokers. And
Stacking. I
I'm just,
like that.
yeah. So what I'm doing now, this is my thing. So I'll take if I see like a sub 500 Joker or Harley for around $300-400, I'll put one of my high mints on the market,
Yeah.
and if it sells, I'll just take those gems and go and buy the 300 or 400. So it's like not
Mm.
like I'm averaging down, but I'm dropping my mint. So I'm keeping the same amount total, but I'm just dropping my mint for a lower price, because pretty much all of the Harleys and Jokers that I got are pretty much retail. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So
Good for
I
you,
went
bro.
I went yeah, I went crazy hard. But I think a lot of people sleeping on the barters and the
Yeah.
Starfires. I don't think that's something new, because it closes out a set. And I think their worth is going to skyrocket
I agree.
once the master collector comes into play and sets, because it'll just be an easy one to just close. You just close the
Right.
whole set, you know. But then
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying, the price will be up on them.
Yo,
But
you know what you're doing, my man. I'm excited. But you're right about the FAs. Like people forget. Like, sure, it's 7,500 editions, but man, it's
yeah.
season one. It's like, like think about Harley Quinn. Like Margot Robbie just portrayed her in a movie a few years ago. Like it's not as if she's getting any less popular anytime soon. It's one of the most
Right.
popular villains from DC. Like, bro, you're
Yeah.
totally right, man. So when the heck did you join? Were you like an early
Oh,
joiner, or when did you get
yeah.
in?
Yeah, so man, look, I told you I'd be bouncing all over the place. You gotta double back on these questions, dog. I get to
Yeah.
talk and just go, man. So
No good, man.
this is me in real life. My wife hates it, dog. But people who enjoy storytelling, they be sitting there like, yeah, yeah,
For
no, let
sure.
them go. You know what I'm saying? Because
I'm
that's
one of
just
those
how
people, bro.
right. I love it. I love storytelling and the build
Yeah.
up on stuff, man. So excuse me if I do that. But
Uh,
yo, so getting back to the Netflix, fast forward. So I didn't invest. He ended up investing in Series XM and didn't go to Netflix. And then when Netflix did that, I was like, "Yo, do the Netflix," and he never got in it. And now he's kicking himself, but not really, because he jumped in Bitcoin. So
yeah.
I I felt kind of dumb for not getting in once I saw it get up. So last year, when COVID first jumped off, I was working a job, and kind of shooting it with the customer. He's always in the stock and stuff like that. So I just got him, had him sit me down and just explain to me what it is that he was doing. Because to me, stocks was always done by a broker. You
Mm,
didn't have the access on your phone to where you can go to Robinhood and go to Fidelity. This was something that if you had a 401k, they would take your 401k. You can either do high risk or low risk, and you
right.
get your money back over years and years and years and years. Outside of that, stock was a bunch of numbers scrolling across the bottom of CNN that I did not know and did not want to know anything about.
Right.
But that's just my being naive and not wanting to educate myself on it, because it's gonna take time, and it has took a lot of time. But so I'm talking to him. He broke a lot of stuff down. He said, "Man, I want you to take $1,000, just $1,000, right? Put 500 on Neo. Back then, Neo was $2 a share,
Woo.
and he said put $5 on Gemma, which is the African version of Amazon, which
Wow.
back then was like under $2 a share, right?"
Wow.
I went in to Fidelity, downloaded transferred $1,000 over, put it into Neo, forgot to put it into Gemma. So I just had $5 in dry goods, dry assets sitting there. Never went back to Fidelity again. So I ended up losing in touch with the customer because the contract ended up going to another employee. Well, I went and did a service call on that job, and the customer said, "Hey man, what you think about that Neo? It's running up, man." And I'm like, what we talking about? And so he say, your stock, you bought the stock, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, I did. Man, I'm glad you said. So I pulled my phone out. I looked down at it. Oh my goodness, bro. Few $1,000s just out of nowhere. I'm like, what? And I was
Wow.
like, he was like, yeah, man, how's your Gemma doing? I was like, oh, I never got it because I forgot the ticker on it. I don't even know what I call it. I didn't even know to call it a ticker back then, but I forgot the symbol on it and just never called them back. Like, yo, what was that other
Right.
one again?
Right.
So I saw that money that I made, and then I saw the other $500 sitting there that could have been other earnings. So at that point, I said, you know what? I'm gonna take my behind home. I'm about to jump into YouTube. I stopped watching everything and I just dove into YouTube, into stocks, and I'm reading on, what the charts mean, and
Wow.
what resistance and support is, and the 20 MA and the 50 MA, and how to collaborate all these things together. Now it's this beautiful financial dance that I'm learning the steps to, because I love numbers, because numbers never lie. Honest
Okay.
as it comes. Writings and people's opinions and all of that is subjective, but numbers are what they are in every single language. And I love that, because the solution and the equation will be the same in here or in Australia.
Right.
So now I'm learning, I'm picking up all this stuff. And I kid you not, bro, from January to the end of February, when I found VEVE, my first day was February 27th. So from
Woo.
January, probably from January to the end of January, I was nothing but stocks, nothing but TNA. And I started jumping into options and learning about options. And at that time, GME was jumping off,
Right.
GameStop and AMC was jumping off, and I'm all in Reddit, and they just throwing me in all these different areas. And then something was sitting over in the corner, was like, psst, psst, come here. And it was crypto, bro. I just kept seeing this stuff pop up, crypto, because a lot of the people that was doing stock videos would mention something about cryptocurrency. I'm like, what in the world is this?
Right.
So at the end of January, I started jumping over into cryptocurrency. And I'm like, oh my God, this is beautiful. I watched 2 documentaries, and I suggest anybody who don't know anything about cryptocurrency, watch these 2 documentaries. All you got to do is type in Bitcoin documentary. It's going to be a history on Bitcoin and money that takes you from the beginning back in Egyptian days, and how money evolved to where it is now, and why Bitcoin is a solution to a lot of problems that's been hovering around us for for thousands of years. And then there was another one on Ethereum, on the blockchain, with Vitalik, and it just opened my eyes up to this whole crazy world where these things are being built, and no one knows that it's bubbling right up under the surface, under
Right.
everybody's feet. And when it comes up, I mean, it's going to take over a lot,
Right.
because it's just a better, it's just a better everything. Like everything that's done now
Yeah.
can be done better on blockchain, man.
Right.
And just from gaming to storage to this, all the smart contracts, and understanding the smart contracts. So I start,
Instantaneous. Yeah.
right, instantaneous, peer to
Yeah.
peer. There's
Yeah.
no middleman.
Exactly.
You mean to tell me I can pull out my X amount out of my savings that's gaining 0.23% annually, maybe 0.02%. My $10,000 just made me $100 last year for just sitting there. When I
Yeah.
can take my $10,000 and put it into something and stake it, and have that make me 20%,
Right.
5%. You know what I'm saying? There's so many.
Yeah.
The staking is another thing, bro. Oh man,
Yeah.
golden, golden, right? So I'm watching all these videos, and then bing, something hits and says, hey, NFTs, and then Beeple sold for like 69 million. So I was like, man, let me just dive into this NFT world, right?
Wow.
So I dove it because that's a lot of I was about the short circuit. That's a lot of information to just be gathering.
It's
I'm
true.
watching 10 to 20 videos a day,
Wow, man.
and I'm going watching videos and at the same time paying tuition the whole time because I ain't doing nothing but taking losses on the stock market because emotionally I'm not detached. I
It's
hear all this
hard.
stuff. Yeah, I can tell you how to be an amazing stock investor
Yeah.
because I can just regurgitate what I've been learning and
Right.
signs of when to get in and when to get out. And if you don't have control of your emotions, man, like you going to be paying tuition, you're going to be in school
Good
for a
follow
long
that.
time.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So my whole process of me gaining control over my emotion and trust in the process, that will take your percentage gain so high, dog.
Yeah.
Like just remove the emotions out of it and just invest in the CEO and the project, which is what I did with VEVE, right? That's why I don't care about the Omi price, or I don't care about any of the FUD out there or any of
Yeah.
that, because the when I did the research on the white paper and on the CEOs and who was behind it, that was it. And it wasn't just Alfred Kahn. You know what I'm saying? Alfred
For
Kahn is
sure.
huge, but he wouldn't have just did it for me because he was just the person going and grabbing the license. He
Yeah.
wasn't the guys in the background doing the executing. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
The vision and all that, like, he was great at that one particular aspect, but there's so many
Exactly.
aspects to develop an ecosystem like that. Yeah.
And then when you dive into David Yu, and he's been collecting and selling collectibles,
Yeah.
and this dude plays Pokemon Go to this day. You go through his
Yeah.
Instagram, he has a video where he's on a boat just skimming across the water to some island over there in the far distance, like, yeah, I'm going to catch a Pokemon. You know what I'm saying? So I love that. Like I'm investing in his dream and his energy, which is
Right.
I love that about him, that he's wearing everything on his sleeve. And Dan's more so the more conservative, and he's politically correct, and he's saying the
Right.
things that needs to be said to, David he don't care. Like he's just out there like, yeah, Slimer today. You know what I'm saying? And
He's
then
got that passion,
everybody's
right?
all upset when yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And everybody's all upset when Slimer doesn't happen. I'm like, man, just be happy he's this transparent with y'all.
Exactly.
You're able to go on the CEO's Instagram and talk, and he responds to everybody.
Everyone, bro.
I've yet to reply to
Yeah.
something on his Instagram and not have him reply back. It's not always
Crazy.
going to be like that.
That's right. We're
So my
so
advice
lucky,
to people, man, live in the moment
Yeah.
that we're in right now. Even the people that are in the chat creating the FUD and stuff, I get it, because you're emotionally invested, and a lot of times you're over invested financially to where it's creating this, tension with
Yeah.
you. But handle your finances, only invest what you can, and enjoy this ride. You will not run across another project this early that we're in. It's mathematically, it's just not something
It's
that
so low
happens
that you'd have
all
this
the time.
opportunity. Exactly.
Exactly. So I'm just living in it. I'm loving it, and I'm just going to enjoy it. There ain't anything that they can say about a drop. They could say that Superman is going to drop next week, and they don't do another drop for another 4 weeks, and I'll be cool with it. Like whatever they're doing, I know they're making up for it. The same way when they oversold Ultraman and gave us all 2D. You know what I'm
I
saying?
remember that, man. That was
Secret rare.
crazy. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
For sure.
at that point, I'm like, man, what is it, man? So I ran across this video digging in NFTs, and shout out what's this dude's name, man? He is the original YouTuber, and I'm gonna remember his name in a minute, but I ran across one of his videos, and he was shouting out VEVE. It was just a random NFT video that he had dropped. He only had 600 subscribers. He's been shouted out by Dan multiple times, and Dan has told him, "You was with us when we was nothing." And I just want to. He did an interview with Dan like a year ago, maybe the beginning of the year or something like that I had watched.
Was it Everything Currency?
See, now I got to get this. Everything Currency.
Everything Currency, bro.
Yeah.
100%. I was a huge fan of. That's where I got it from too.
Bro, Yeah, and see what I'm, hey, bro, the connections, dog.
Yeah.
So look, bro. So everything Currency was doing, and I love the way that he does all of his um presentations, and it's not like FOMO, it's just all analysis and all what the
Yeah.
project is and why he believes in it. And and every one that he's put me on has been a good investment. Not now because everything's
Yeah.
down,
Right.
but every project for me is a good investment because I'm investing in this project that's going to pop 2 to 3 years down the road. And
Exactly.
but everything Currency did a video on VEVE, right? And I watched it and I downloaded the app during the video, and that was it. That was it. And I'm
Wow.
doing all of this stuff, and I showed my kids, and to see my kids excited, they play video games all day. For
Yeah.
them to be that excited and for them to see this and just be completely amazed. And I did a video where I dropped the vault outside and I bought like 3 or 4 um, collectibles. I let them pick them out. My youngest son picked out like the Robin.
Yeah.
My oldest son picked out the Todd Batman.
Wow.
Um, a nephew picked out like the Harley Quinn. So I bought them all, and all of them are low mints. So
Woo!
I created them all accounts and sent them to him, right? And so the so we're out there playing around with it, and I'm watching them running around with my phone. This is $1,000 phone, $800 phone, and I don't, they're running around with it.
Yeah, you're like,
And
do not break it.
right. I'm so, no, I don't even care. Like, cause I'm so fascinated at how much they love this app. I'm like, man, this is something. This is gonna be something
Yeah.
crazy. Cause if the kids love it and I love it, that's a big range. And then you talk to, I watch a video, your mother, shout
Yeah.
out your moms, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Yo, like I wish my mom would be in the NFTs. That's like one
Yeah.
of the coolest things. And then Johnny Dunn's mom edged him into that. And
Yeah.
then, he showed me this article that his grandmother wrote because she's fascinated by it. I think she's
Wow.
in her 80s and
Wow.
she understands it. But to see that broad range that this thing is captivating, and it has nothing to do, there's no restrictions on your cultural background, your financial background,
Yeah.
sex. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Everybody is in this thing, man.
Everybody's
And
coming to the party,
I
man.
think that was, the biggest mistake that VEVE made
Mm.
is Dan said in one of his interviews that they were only expecting about 5,000 at this point, where they had roughly 60, 70,000. So them underestimating how fast, because there was no marketing. All of this was
Yeah.
word of mouth. You tell a
Yeah.
friend who tells a friend who tells a friend who tells a friend. You see what I'm saying? And I
100%.
think they underestimated it. I was in Telegram when Telegram had 3,000 users. When
Wow.
Discord had like 1,000 users. I was bouncing back between the two of those, and then I left Telegram because somebody created an account that was scamming people under my name. You know what I mean? And right now you can
Oof.
type in crypto khaki, and at the bottom it's crypto khaki private. And I'm
Wow.
not even I'm upset about it, but whoever it was that was scamming under my name, bro, I'm not even upset that you was. I'm upset, but I'm more upset at how you was doing it.
Yeah.
He wasn't. He was scamming people and scamming them out of Jakes and what's and fins, bro.
And
Like you,
BMOs. Yeah.
right, bro. Like you couldn't even scam them. You couldn't even grab a reso. You're gonna use my name. You're gonna go after Jakes and Fins, man. Come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm
Yeah.
more upset that he was, doing it for the Fins and Jakes than I am that he was even scamming me. But I came in a Telegram one day and everybody just was like, brr. I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, like I don't even trade. Like my whole thing is hot. Like
Right.
I ain't
Right.
made no trades with nobody.
Wow. Good
And
for you.
yeah, but now I have. I've made a few
Yeah.
trades. Like I've made a few trades.
Yeah.
But like for me, I'm not selling anything. I'm only trading to get other collectibles that I think. And shout out to you too, because I asked you a question one day. I think it's in that day that we was talking after everybody left in the AMA, and I asked you like about the Batgirl, about the Supergirl, the 1959, which was her
Right.
first appearance. So I
Right.
asked you, I was like, "Yo, would you trade this for this? Would you trade any of these for this? And you was like, yeah, in a heartbeat. So I went and pulled the trigger because I had the
Nice.
1958, which was one of the controversial first appearances for Supergirl. I got that during the drop.
Remember
And
that.
then I went after the 1959, which was her first official appearance
Wow.
as Superman's cousin.
And
So
you
I
got
went
that,
and
eh?
grabbed.
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
that one?
I traded
Ooh,
for it. Yeah, I traded
amazing,
for it.
man. Yo,
Yeah,
those are
yeah,
one of ones, like very apparent
yeah.
big things like created. Like, man, even I lucked out so hard. I got the 1939 Batman Who Laughs. And
Oh,
I was
what?
like, man, like I,
On the drop? No, no, no. You got it on the. Oh
on the
yeah, I remember you
marketplace.
saying
Yeah.
you were shaking when you was
I
trying to
was like,
buy
oh,
it.
yeah, I was like, there's like 200 and something gems. And I was like,
Right,
bro, this
man.
is a one of one. Like, you know?
Hey, as the exactly, it's and I watched the video and I was like, man, I'm gonna start going through and looking for these numbers
Yeah.
because you come from a collector's world. So the smart thing
Mhm.
for me to do would be to watch you and analyze and listen to what you're saying because a lot of the stuff that you're saying and your techniques from coming from the Pokemon world or from your collector space are going to translate over to what VV is because it's all collectible. So
Right.
I'm all in tune with you guys and the way that y'all do y'all videos and stuff, man. But yeah, so I was all in on the special numbers, like the first appearance numbers and stuff like that. Matter of fact, so shout out it's a dude named Fast Eddie. So I went
Yeah.
looking for
Yeah, he's
the
got a crazy
19
collection.
bro, and he only has a few, but all of them are bangers. He got like the
Yeah,
1939 Todd,
I
bro. So
know.
and then got the 1940 Joker FA.
Yeah,
So I'm like, bro, you got the Todd and the Joker FA. Like you was really out here moving. Like, but those
yeah,
are the ones that got the advantage. He put in the work. He came from a space where he knew
right.
that that would be something in the long term, and now at this point, like I don't think I can really keep that name Todd Father without having that 1939 Todd. So you know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna have to work something out, Eddie. Like
You
I
heard
don't
this,
know what it's
Eddie?
gonna be.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, it may not be this year or next year. I got a lot of patience. I'm a
Yeah,
homie holder.
for
So
sure.
you
And
know what
that's
I'm
why
saying? Like
he's got it up right now for 1 million,
1 million,
1
right.
million gems,
Yeah.
bro. And to be
So
honest,
and that
it's not crazy. Like in 20 years, it's not crazy, you know?
it's not, man. It's
Yeah.
not, man. Like you see what stuff is going for now, and Vivi isn't even adopted by 2% of where I think they're gonna end up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If Vivi does it right, and I hope what they're doing on the back end is creating the. I love that they did the Telegram and the Discord because it creates a opportunity for a community to form. All of
Yes.
these collectors, Comic Con is a community. They all rock with each
Right.
other.
Right.
DC fans roll with each other. Tokidoki fans, some of the craziest fans out there, they all roll with each other. It's a whole community. So if VV, the people that's going to separate themselves in this NFT and collector space are going to be the ones that have a strong community built around it. Look at Pokemon Go. They
Yeah.
do the community day events once a month. They have the YouTubers go out and they all catch Pokemons as a community and stuff. But
Yeah.
when VVverse drops, I wouldn't mind seeing the capability for us to have a friend list where we can go into there and leave a message in your space
Love that.
on your message board in your
Yeah.
vault or in
Right.
your home. Come in, drop a message, boom, and we do a lot of our interactions on that app or on that VV platform, as opposed to going to the generic Discord and Telegram and it being spread out. But I also think that that is going to allow the Tokidoki fans to group together as opposed to just dealing in their own space offside of the app,
Right.
and everybody have their own community and group within the app. And I think that is what I, I would hope that that's what they're trying to build and trying to build on, because that
Yeah.
community is going to be huge,
Bro, and
at the end of the day with the growth and everything.
It's such a good point you bring up. And I feel like that was their main driver, like even with the social element embedded within the app. And for me, when I joined, if I didn't see the Telegram community, I don't think I would have hyped in. It's because I
Yeah,
started looking at
exactly.
the Telegram and they're like, yo, buy this. This is worth this. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, look how cool this is. And I was like, whoa, let me check this out. And that's why other platforms fail because they just don't have that same community, right? Like,
yep,
bro,
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
man.
It's huge, man. Like I've gained so much knowledge just from being in the community. And with Discord, I'll sit back and be in there and just read. I would go back an hour and start at the top and just read all the way down, because a lot of times you'll find somebody engaged in a real good conversation. Like a physical collector came in over to VEVE a couple of days ago, and I was reading him talking about how it's a smooth transition for him
Yeah.
to come over to it. And he's put a lot of his people on. So that's encouraging for me, because I think a lot of where VV's at now is going to be pushed by that collector
Yeah.
community. And then when they have their VV verse up, then the masses will be able to adopt. And then that's when the microtransactions for gems, when you're paying $2 to decorate your home per item, and that burns on me. And you're going to change your room 1,000 times throughout the year. It's
Yeah.
just what's going to happen. I hope they monetize that just for a
Right.
couple of dollars. You know what I'm saying?
For
Because that
sure.
is what's gonna create burns, and it's gonna separate everybody's vault from looking like the same. Because you look at the vault now, it's pretty,
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, Terra, they can learn a few things from Terra Virtual on vaults and displays and stuff like that. But I already know that I would prefer that they did it this way and went and locked down all the IPs that they did in the
I
beginning,
agree because it sets them
and
that
then
much further ahead, right? But you're right. Like now it's time to development side push that up now.
right, right. And because they got to, and I think that's why they haven't made any big announcements, because they got to have something. You're not gonna, there, it'll be a huge mistake if they go out. Everybody wants, because everybody's holding on me. Everybody wants them to pump VV, pump VV, pump VV. And you come in and there's only two things to buy at retail right now. And the app is real clunky
Yeah.
compared to where these people are coming from.
Right.
We are used to it because it's better than what it was when we joined back in March, February, and January and December. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it progress to get better, but to them, they'll come back here and, they'll look at it, play with it for a little while, and they'll get bored, because what else is holding them here outside of collecting? For
Yeah.
us, we understand it. You know what I mean? But
Bro, and that's the big thing I wanted to ask you because when you and I came in the app, right? I was obviously a little bit later than you, but we were able to build leverage. So we were buying all this stuff at retail. So you put in 5K and then all of a sudden when you're selling it to trade up or you're holding, all that stuff is elevated. It's all worth way more. So I
right,
think that's the one thing for me that was like really different was like I'm like if I came into the app now, I don't know if I would be as compelled to stay because I'd be like, okay, there's a Rizzo for 3K, a Todd's minimum 400 gems for a good minute, it's like 700. So I'd be like, let
right,
me get a Todd and a Harley and call it quits. You know what I'm
right,
trying to
right.
say? So I feel like
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
it's so I get the whole
It's
store element, like where things are going to be there, where people can buy it, and then then the next generation can come in and flip.
right, and that's what I'm hoping that they. It's not even that I'm hoping. That's what I
Yeah,
know they understand,
yeah,
and I'm just kind of sitting back, just being patient with them, and just watching them do their thing, man. Like to be where they are right now, and I think they've set the bar for a lot of these NFT spaces. There's a reason. You know who Gary Vee is, right?
oh, 100%. Yeah, V friends,
All
right?
right, listen,
Yeah,
listen, yeah, yeah. Love this dude. Love the way he thinks, and just love the hustle with him, and all of that. Like he's a real one, right? So, but he's very smart, and not once. You don't think he know about VV?
of course he does. Yeah,
Not once has he mentioned VV,
yeah,
because they're competition to what he's trying to do. So
that's
he's
right.
not going to give them any kind of plugs or anything like that. That in itself lets me know that VV got something, because he'll mention the
Mm,
Zeds, he'll mention the Top Shots. Top Shots is his favorite, but
right.
he's also creating a different NFT space where he's giving people an experience where you buy this NFT and you're able to spend time with another celebrity or something like that. And then he's coming up with his own like V-Friends and stuff like that. Like very fascinating stuff, man. But at the same time, he's not mentioning Ecomi because we big dogs over here. And he knows that's where he's chasing. You see what I'm saying?
Doesn't, man, you killed that. He doesn't want him to get out of the doghouse. Like he's like,
he doesn't, man. Like, so, which is cool. Like, I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? Like that makes me more bullish on how I'm looking at this space and stuff, man. And, you know, even BitBoy, when BitBoy, you know, shouted out Omi, we had been in his ear on Omi for a while.
I remember that.
And he finally did it when they did some research, and that's when the coin shot up to like a penny shortly after. It was a lot of stuff happening for Omi right then. BitBoy did his joint in the 1st of March, and it started running up, and he did another video like a week after that saying that this is going to be the top NFT play and all of this, and then shot up some more. And then the people realized they bought in without understanding the tokenomics. So eventually the price just started dropping. And around that time, Bitcoin was at an all-time high. All the altcoins was pulling up too. So they're watching, all these crypto guys are watching Omi do this right here because it's not burning anything. But the people who already know that it shouldn't be up, we not panicking. You know what I'm saying? I'm just waiting for it to come back down to where it's supposed to originally be, which is around where it's at. It's a little lower than what I thought it would be at, which is fine by me because I'm still buying Omi. But as Omi is doing this, all of the other coins, ADA, XRP, everything is doing this right here. So you're going to jump off of this ship right here and jump onto there. Right. So you lost hundreds of millions of market cap from people pulling out of Omi that people thought was going to run from 1 cent to $1 just for no reason. You know what I'm saying? But so now they pull all their money out and put it into projects that are actually making them money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like I'm cool with all that because I'm just sitting back waiting for Omi to just keep setting down its steps and setting down its foundation. And when it takes off, ain't nothing out there like this, man.
You got it, bro.
Ain't nothing out here like this, bro.
And like you said, once it takes off, you know, you better be wearing your seatbelt because, you know.
Oh, like... shoot. You better have your helmet on and all of that, man. So I got in a little bit, put like $600 or $700 on it. And that got me at 0022. That got me like $250,000 Omi, right?
Right.
And I sat there and started pushing money into buying NFTs. I just went crazy. I lost a Risso on the first day that I jumped in. That was the only thing sold out in the Batman collection. And I wanted the Risso because it was sold out. I didn't know how the auction worked. And I put a bid on, it was like 2,000, I mean, it was like 200 and something dollars. And then somebody else put a bid after me. And then it started, like I wasn't refreshing the screen. So I'm sitting there waiting for it to say 1 minute and for it to go. And then I put a bid on it just to see, because there's no countdown on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
This dude ended up doing like 10 cents higher than me because I wanted to do like eBay where you can put 500 as your max bid. And if the next person under you highest bid is 299, you'll get it for $300. I wasn't sure if you could do it like that. So I'm just doing 10 cent increments, 10 cent increments, right? Which is, if I'd have did 500, I'd have got it for 500. Wow. But he ended up beating me out at the last second. He won it for $210.
Oh my God.
2 days later, I went and it shot up to $1,000. I'm in the middle of bidding on $1,000. And that's when the market crashed and they took the market offline and erased everybody's bids. It was like 4 hours left on that bid.
Oh my God.
And they resetted everything. And then the next time I saw a Risso, $4,000. I was like, oh. So I would have got the physical.
Yeah, you had to.
I'm so mad, right? I never collected physical collectibles in my life. Every one that I've had was like old toys that turned into collectibles because they was old. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But like these right here, like I'm like, man, I'm trying to match mint numbers with, I'm scrolling through trying to match.
You know what you're doing, bro? Like once it feels like once you got an idea in your head and you've learned about something, you're like gung ho and you do it, man. Like I feel like you got a ton of knowledge for a guy that came into crypto recently that, wasn't collecting in the past. Like man, I'm talking to you like I'm talking to one of my collecting friends. Like I feel like, you, me and Johnny Dunn could be in here right
Yeah,
now chatting it up. Like,
it's for
and you'd be
hours.
telling and you'd be teaching us things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and vice versa too,
Yeah.
because and that's what I love about a community with something, because your viewpoint, you'll be looking at something completely different how I'm looking at it, and then I'm able to take a piece of what you're doing
Mm.
and implement it in my style, and then you take something from me and implement it in yours, and then I look at how you did it, and what you created is something completely different than what I'm looking at, because you combine yours with mine, and I'm combining what I'm doing with what you're doing and creating something new, and I'm able to look at how everybody's doing these different things, man. And I'm just gathering. I'm in there just reading and gathering info off of all you guys. Like I love the way you, the Gale,
Yeah,
the
the Gale's
Gale is
cool, bro.
the Gale is cool, bro. And shout out
Yeah.
to him for the FA on you. That yo, I was like, yo, this dude is nuts, right? He looks exactly like how I thought he would look, and I
Same.
didn't even know how he would have looked. But if I was to pick three pictures out of the lineup, it would have been the three glasses and the dreads, bro.
For sure. For
So
sure,
I was
bro.
like, dang, bro. Like, just the community is just amazing, bro. Like, look at
Mhm.
all the talent and with Pineapple Man. You know what I'm
Bro.
saying?
And he's so good. Like he's like, yo, like in that song that he just came out with Johnny Dunn, I was like, bro, and even his little like catch, he's like, it's wonderful. I'm like, bro,
Yeah,
like,
just starting it off. He
yeah,
gets it. I know he's been doing music for a while. I went on his Instagram because I be all on I be everywhere, right?
yeah.
So before he did the song, I had caught something on his Instagram and went back a few, and I do research on all you guys, man. So I know y'all numbers and stuff. And I see like people like the Gale and he was doing top shots before this. He was
Yeah.
doing like 50, 40. I think his first 5 videos was like 50 total views, and
Wow.
all of that talent, and nobody's watching them, right? He does his first video with VEVE, 500, 600 views, 10x his
Wow.
views out of
Wow.
the blue. And he saw it. You know what I'm saying? He saw
Yeah.
that. No more Top Shot videos. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And does nothing but own me. And look where he's at now. One of the staples in the community of one of the most promising projects out here. I think I'd be more excited
Yeah.
for y'all's future than some of y'all are, because I see where y'all are going to be in 4 or 5 years, man. Like y'all are captivating the community now, and you're educating the community now, and you're learning, and you're only getting better. Watching Chef Dizzy go from the bathroom door in his backdrop to the waterfall drop in his backdrop in his videos, with the nervous energy the first video to now he's just he got his own swag going on, and the community is creating that confidence within you guys, and we're able to boost you
Bro,
guys and push y'all out there, and it's just amazing to see the growth, man.
It's so cool that you say that, man, because that's the only reason we got it anywhere, because the community was so supportive.
Yeah.
Like Cavell, bro, I don't know if I told you the story, but I literally was sleeping and I had like 3 subscribers. Then Cavell like literally did one of my videos. Like he overlaid it and he was like, yo, this guy's a collector if you want to. And so I wake up to like 100 subs and all these messages
Oh,
and I'm freaking
son.
out. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, whoa, like I thought I had like 3 people following me before, right? All of a sudden I get like 1,000 views. And then man, I was like, holy shit. Like I always thought when you had a big YouTuber doing a video for you, I thought it was like you had to pay them or like, you know what I'm
Right,
trying to
right,
say? And this guy
right,
just naturally
right.
was like, no, this is
Yeah,
valuable. I'm gonna like
yeah,
share this. And
yeah.
that's how the whole community is, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
It's interesting to see where it all goes with all of y'all, man. I hope everybody stays that
Yeah.
connected with each other. But weird things happen when numbers start to climb. I'm
I
just putting
know.
it out there.
It's
You know what
true.
I'm saying?
It's true, bro.
But the community, bro, is just like Cryptomaniac. Like we're
Yeah. Shout out to
like I don't
Cryptomaniac,
think
bro. Yeah.
yeah, definitely shout out to Cryptomaniac. I always engage with him when I see him in the chat and stuff, man.
Yeah.
Very insightful. And I don't know if he was even thinking about doing YouTube. I
Yeah.
remember him being in the chat, like debating on if he was going to do YouTube or not.
Right.
And now he's, you know, it looked like he's been doing it for 2 or 3 years. Because some
Yeah.
people are just naturally able to sit in a camera and project themselves and their views and thought points in a way that captivates an audience. And
Right.
that's an art, but you do it effortlessly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's to be commended with all you guys, man, because it takes a lot to get up here in front of the camera. And yeah, I'm hoodied down and masked up, so you know I can come out here and say whatever. I don't have, you know, a YouTube channel or anything like
You
that
should,
that
man. You
I'm
should.
that
I feel like you'd be
yeah.
amazing at it.
I mean, I'll
Especially with,
pop in, yeah, I'll
yeah.
pop in and chat with guys and stuff like that, man. But I
Yeah.
don't want that pressure. I got enough on my plate right now, man,
Yeah.
and so it would just I would have to sacrifice some things in order to jump up here and be
Right.
on it the way I would feel like I would owe a community to be on. You know what I'm saying? But shout out you guys. I hope you guys are in here for the long term, bro. So, and I'm
Bro.
watching y'all videos graduate too, man. Like, so it's cool
Yeah.
to sit back and see, man. Like,
Like the
you know,
progression, right? Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, straight up. Yeah,
Bro,
straight
well,
up,
yo,
man.
one
So
thing I'm gonna say is like, I feel like we've been blessed by the Todd Father today, man. I feel like, yo, I knew you had some deep wisdom, but
yeah,
you definitely got another level of wisdom that people can really, really benefit from, bro. So,
I appreciate
yo,
it, man. I appreciate
yo,
it, brother.
big thanks, man, for you to come on the
Yeah,
show. And like, this is one part of many more. Now we've got to
yeah,
get all the other
definitely.
guys. You got to be
Yeah.
coming out more, man. Because like I said, I noticed you in the Discord, and I was like, whoa. And then I'm talking to Johnny, and he's like, yeah, man, you got to talk to this guy. And I was like, okay, there's too many people telling me about the Todd Father. So I'm like, and then
Yeah,
like your name
yeah.
was so
In the flesh.
badass.
In the
Yeah,
yeah, and I took this off of somebody in there too, so
good.
I ganked him for it. But you know,
Whatever.
if you out there, shout out to you, man. I owe you a DeLorean, a rare DeLorean.
Okay, that's better. A rare DeLorean's better. Yeah.
Yeah, straight up, man. But yeah, man, it's been a privilege, man. It's always
Yeah.
a good thing to voice my thoughts on VV, because like I
Mhm.
say, I don't my circle is real small, and my love for VV is real large, and it gets awkward when I'm running up to random people, popping a phone in their face like, yo, you heard of VV? You do crypto? You know, just to get some conversation. And then it's like, back to Discord. Let me get my fix right quick. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly.
Yeah, apologize to everybody out there. Man, people misunderstand me in Discord. Like, for real, man. I've been banned a couple of times for like
Really?
some days for getting engaged, like
Mm.
back and forth. And people just don't like to be told a different perspective than what they look at. Like,
Right.
I'll get into conversations with them, not to stretch this out any longer than you want to, but I'll get into conversations where they will be heavily invested in VV, but trash VV constantly.
Mm, mm.
You know, and it's like, man, I'm in here. We're all in a positive conversation, and we're talking about the long terms of VV, and all I hear is, marketplace VV is trash. Open the marketplace, and why did they
Right.
drop 50,000 DeLoreans? They're killing VV. They're killing the app. My Omi and this, that, and the third. So I would get into these conversations with them, and not yelling or I wouldn't think. I think I'm pretty blunt, and
Yeah.
that's probably a character flaw with some
No,
people, conversation wise.
bro,
They would
it's
look at it like
important,
that. You know
man.
what I mean?
It's
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
And shout out to Vivi Vault too, because him and I have a bit of a difference about low cereals, but I value his perspective. And
Right, exactly.
other people are gonna have perspectives like him. So we can have like a healthy, conversation about these
Right,
things,
right.
right? And it's only gonna get more disgruntled over time. So it's like people need to realize that there's gonna be, people on the other side of the fence and not be so worried about some of this conversation. It's important. It's healthy,
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly, man. So I'll leave it there. So if this is my public apology to you guys. If you felt like I disrespected you or anything like that, deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. And you can tell he's a super nice
You know what
guy.
I'm saying?
Super
Yeah,
nice guy,
super
bro.
genuine, man.
Come on.
Everything
Yeah.
definitely super respectful, super genuine, man. And
Yeah.
like this is I'm I'm excited, man. I love this app. I love everything about VV and the staff behind it. And you guys, the content creators, man, y'all keep doing y'all thing for sure, bro. Got
Yo,
my support 100%, man.
bro, we appreciate you big time, man. And like I said, bro, like you gotta, yeah, we gotta give you more platforms to share all this wisdom because I feel like there's a lot of things I learned today, and I'm sure like the community too. So thanks so much again for coming on, bro.
Yeah, anytime, man. Anytime, bro. You know it.
Perfect, bro. Talk to you soon, my man.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You too.